We thought we were copying a boring World War II essay, but what we read out loud exposed secrets that changed everything. When I was in high school, history class was the one subject none of us cared about. World War II dates, generals, battles, it all just sounded like noise. So whenever we had an essay to write, we had only one solution: copy Riley. Now, Riley was the quiet kid. You know the type. The one who never really talked to anyone, but somehow always had his work finished perfectly. People rarely noticed him, but everyone knew. If you didn't know what to do, just peek over at Riley's paper. So me and my two friends made a plan. Riley would write his essay, I'd copy Riley, then my friend next to me would copy mine, and our third guy would copy him, like a human photocopier chain. None of us even tried to change a single word, because honestly, we didn't care. We just wanted to mess around and survive the class. But then came the twist. The teacher announced that we'd all have to read our essays out loud. Instant panic. I looked down at my paper. It was Riley's words, word for word. I glanced at my two friends. They had the exact same thing. And Riley, well, obviously, his was the original. 4 identical essays, 4 voices about to read the same thing. And then the first friend got called up. He looked pale. His hands were shaking. He glanced at me like, well, what do I do? He started reading. But what came out of his mouth wasn't history. It wasn't about tanks or battles. It was something dark. He said, my life is so bad that even death thinks I'm already dead. Death keeps chasing me, trying to take my life. I tell him I'm not dead, but he doesn't believe me, because living this life feels worse than dying. The whole class froze. Everyone turned in their seats. I looked down at his paper. It was identical to mine, identical to Riley's. But those words, well, they weren't written there. Then came the second friend's turn. He stood up, voice cracking, and started reading. And again, it wasn't about World War II. He said, the government has decided that anyone named Stephen must be killed. And my father, he named me Stephen. And he just kept repeating it over and over. But I swear to you, on the paper in his hands, it was still the same copied essay. By now, the classroom was buzzing, people whispering, staring, laughing nervously. And then it was my turn. I took a deep breath, heart pounding in my chest, and started reading. Except what came out wasn't what I expected. Instead of talking about battles or treaties, I said something that made the whole room explode. I read, Mr. Braunley has been secretly dating a student. And I even said the name of the student. Silence. Dead silence. Then chaos. Students gasped. Some started yelling. The teacher turned red, tried to stop me, but the damage was done. Within minutes, people were out the door. Rumors spreading like wildfire. And here's the thing. It turned out to be true. An investigation followed. Mr. Braunley was taken away, and nobody ever looked at Riley the same way again. From that day forward, we never copied Riley again, because sometimes the quietest person in the room is holding the loudest truth.